All right, hello and welcome. This is Glowforge talk show number 4, and as usual, we have the normal guests that we always have every week. We have Mr. Ben, and we have a new little guest, Mr. Dan, Rebecca, who's on remote, and Philip. So Dan, you're on the road apparently. So
I am. I actually just came from Maker Faire setup, and we're pretty excited because we've got 2 Glowforges there, one more that got a little bit waylaid in shipping, but hopefully is going to be there tonight, and we're looking to get everything set up. So we're going to do something kind of fun. We've got a bunch of squares of proof-grade wood, 3 different species. So we've got maple, cherry, and walnut. And they're all pre-finished, stickered, and so we're going to do the same trace thing we did the last Maker Faire because that was a lot of fun and kids love it. They can go up and do it. We're going to do it on the proof-grade material. It's going to be a little higher resolution scan because we've polished up all that sort of stuff. And we're also going to see if we can't squeeze owners in ahead of the line because the line got a little brutal last time. So if you're an owner, grab your phone, bring up your confirmation email on there, and go find one of us. We'll have the turquoise Glowforge t-shirts on, and we'll see if we can't squeeze you in at the front to go try it out and see what you've got coming. We're also going to do some special prints every hour on the hour, so if you can come by right on the hour. And last but not least, at 1 o'clock on Saturday, Shell and I are going to do something kind of fun. We're going to invite somebody from the audience up and design and print something from scratch in 20 minutes. So that should be a little scary for us, but I think it'll be fine.
That sounds awesome. Is any of that going to be recorded and broadcast later, specifically the 20 minutes?
You know, somebody on the forum suggested that. It's a great idea. I will see if I can arrange for that to happen. I don't know if the Maker Faire talks are recorded normally, but if they're not, I'll see if I can at least get somebody with a camera phone to record that, and we'll see if we can get some recordings of the booth. I bet we'll have some owners who show up and shoot some video there. So if nothing else, we'll have that.
Rebecca, that's on you.
All right, thank you.
An end-to-end video would be.
I'm gonna have to run. I'm gonna have to run. Thank you so much for having me. I'm sorry it was short this time, but next time a little more. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And
good luck at the Maker Faire.
Oh, that was quick, and that was kind of awesome, I guess. Okay, so Rebecca, you are basically en route, and basically when it starts tomorrow, I believe, right?
Yes, it starts tomorrow. Friday is a VIP day from 1 to 5.
Awesome.
And I have a ticket for that. I'm quite excited, so I'll go straight to the Glowforge booth, and yep, there's my golden ticket. And I'll go straight to the Glowforge booth and see what's going on.
And oh, go ahead, Philip.
I was just saying she's our secret agent.
Yes.
That's right. I need a list of what I need to scope out. Just kidding.
So this is your first Maker Faire.
It's my first major Maker Faire. I went to a mini Maker Faire last year in San Diego. That was really interesting. But this is my first big international Makers Faire, so I'm quite excited about it.
I believe there's going to be a company called CircuitScribe there. You should check them out. It's basically a company that does these kind of like pre-made circuits, and they give you a conductive pen, so you can literally draw your circuits. And then you take the pre-made like LEDs or transistors or whatever, and they have little conductive ball bearings on the bottom, and you literally place it on a piece of paper, and you could draw whatever you want. Not whatever you want, but basically you can draw a circuit. And I think they did something called a Draw Arduino, where they actually drew out everything that an Arduino would need, and they placed all the components on a piece of paper, and they were able to program it and everything. It was pretty cool.
Excellent. No, I'll definitely stop by for you.
But yeah, Maker Fairs are pretty cool. I mostly go to the one in New York. But yeah.
Have you guys been to the one in the Bay Area?
No, not me.
I've been to the New York one. I always wondered if the Bay Area one is even bigger than the New York one.
I don't know. Which one is the flagship Maker?
I think the Bay Area one was the first one.
Okay.
Like the big
But they're
one.
both labeled as an international fair. When you go to the Maker Faire website, they both say they're big international Maker Fairs instead of a mini one.
It's big. It
Yeah,
takes
I
up.
went to the first one that they had in New York, and I don't know. Looking at videos, it looked as if the Bay one was bigger than that. But
I think that whole kind of culture movement started in the Bay Area, and the maker branded type of movement.
Yeah, and plus I think more of, I don't want to say celebrity, road celebrities or internet celebrities. I guess they show up more on the San Diego side. I mean, yeah, we have Durista, Adafruit, I think Spark Fun. There's a couple I've seen on the New York side, but it's more 3D printers than anything else. I don't know if it's going to be different this year, but the last couple times I've gone, it was just every type of 3D printer you can imagine. There was a couple laser cutters. Epilogue is always there. But yeah, this should be interesting. You should have fun. You should take advantage.
Well, when I went, I thought the most interesting part were the talks that you could go and attend, even more so than some of the booths.
Yeah, they're like mini TED Talks ish.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's neat. It was neat to take those in.
And so the other news in.
Oh, I think we just lost Eve.
Yep. I hope they didn't cut the. I hope Verizon didn't cut the trunk again.
Oh no.
It still says that one. So
is that what happened this morning? Somebody cut all of the power or the Wi-Fi in his neighborhood?
Verizon was installing fiber apparently, and they cut a trunk line or a power line while installing it, and put him out of power for a while. And he had a UPS running, but that only lasts so long. So
Rebecca.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was going to ask Philip a question. I'm sorry, Ben.
Go ahead.
I'm known for cutting
Go
you
ahead,
off.
Rebecca.
But what's that right behind you? That nice blue box, Philip?
The Chinese laser. My import.
Yeah.
My worker bee. Yeah, Chinese laser. Got it in 2 weeks ago. It took about a week to get it up and running, get everything put back where it was supposed to be after shipping. But it's the lasers are aligned. It's cutting, and it's keeping me busy till the Glowforge gets here. So giving me a little bit of insight, and I get to play with some materials, and mock up some stuff, and it definitely gives me an appreciation for what the Glowforge is going to be when it gets here.
So how many hours would you say you've put in to set it up?
I'd say like a total maybe 6 to 8 hours straight on. Most of the stuff, you just slide it into place. It's ready to go. I did have to take the entire motor carriage and internal frame out and realign it because it was crooked. Everything got shifted in shipping, but
was that something that you've done before that you have experience with, or did you have to figure out how to do it?
This is my first laser cutter, so aligning those, it's my first time. I've put together other CNC machines, so I mean, really, you just want to make sure that everything's square and aligned with each other. So as long as you can use a carpenter, a quick square, everything else, I had a laser pointer that I could use to make adjustments without having to burn through tape every time. It made it a lot easier. It's so much fun to play with. I mean, it was like when I got my 3D printer working, I'm just constantly cutting stuff and burning stuff and testing. So,
So, for somebody like me who doesn't feel confident buying a laser of that sort, what are some of the things that you think the Glowforge would have for somebody like me versus, if I were going to try to get a Chinese laser and set it up for myself, which wouldn't happen, by the way.
Well, I'm assuming that everything's going to be aligned properly coming straight from the factory. With the Glowforge, the software is a huge issue. They shipped with us with mine, I got a burned DVD that looked like it had been used about 20 times already. It was all scratched up with a hacked version of CorelDRAW on it. And a number of other pieces of questionable software.
So is Corel the only way to run it, or?
Well, they have software called LaserDraw, and you can import images and like raster and vector images into that and make cuts with it. And that also is a plugin for Corel Draw, so you can, if you're familiar with it, you can draw up whatever you want or import something from Illustrator and manipulate it in Corel, and then use the plugin to either engrave or cut whatever you're wanting to, whatever job you're wanting to do. I found that there's a lot of issues with the software though. Like if you engrave first, the plugin will crash. So then you have to close everything out, even if you've already drawn something. You have to save it, close everything out, open it back up, reload the file, then select all the things that you want to cut or engrave, and go again. So it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. And also for safety issues, I've kept it off my internal network, so I upload everything to Dropbox, pull it off the Dropbox, load it into whatever I'm using, and then cut from there. But in the meantime, having something that works is a lot of fun. I get to figure out materials and try to figure out some concepts, but the Glowforge is going to be a lot easier, especially just from a software perspective, being able to use any computer in the house, because I have 4 or 5 different computers that I use for different things, and being able to put a file from any computer up to the Glowforge would be so nice instead of having to upload it to Dropbox, pull it down on the old crappy laptop that I'm using, and try to get it to run. So,
I'm sorry if this was asked already, but do you move files via USB key, or you have to have something connected to it live all the time?
It's connected via USB directly to my quarantine computer. So I would not take I was going to say I wouldn't take a USB file or a USB key from that computer and put it in any other computer, because I don't want to deal with all that.
It's funny, and this is slightly non-CNC related, but if you go to Amazon right now, they have these little breakout boards that they sell, so you can use like Linux CNC and whatever. They come with a free copy of Mach 3. Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't install that. So this is your PSA announcement. Do not install that.
Yeah. I made an image of this machine right before I installed all that software, so if anything happens, I'll just get right back to baseline really quickly.
Another quick PSA, if you get a piece of hardware and the CD that comes with it is a burnt CD with a Sharpie label on it, also do not install that.
Yeah, I think they tried to write with ballpoint and they scratched up part of the CD on mine. It also looks like it's been used for a couple of months. I think I got mine secondhand.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for, let's say, south of 400, it's not terrible.
You can... The cheapest laser tube and power supply I saw were around the price that I paid for this whole setup. So
yeah, which includes a gantry and stuff like that.
Can't argue with that. I mean, lenses and mirrors usually cost around $50.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't argue with the price. Just.
And are you pleased with the quality of that it can do, or?
Yeah, I like everything so far. I mean, you guys have seen what I put up on the forums. It's not super powerful. It's not going to cut through anything super deep without multiple passes, but that's fine.
What's the wattage on?
What's that?
60. What's the wattage?
This is supposedly 40.
40. Okay.
What does it say on the tube?
So it should be 40. Hold on, I'll be right back.
So on the tube, you should see a silver sticker, and it should have what it's rated for and what the actual output. Now they can falsify that too, but I'm just curious. This is 40.
It has 2 slots for power, peak power and agreement power. The agreement power is 39 watts, and the peak power is 40.
Okay. Interesting. And were the mirrors pretty flawless, or were they kind of speckly?
The mirrors are in good shape.
Okay.
It's just getting everything aligned properly to get it to cut. But once that happened, it's been a lot of fun. I'm a little jealous of the red sail that Apex got, because that has a lot of cool features.
Yeah.
Shows you what it's cutting. I think you can use more software.
Yeah.
It came with air assist. I want to put air assist in, but I mean, for the percentage of cost related to what I spent on it, I haven't had any big flame up issues.
You can 3D print an air assist. There's a couple for the K40 out there.
Yeah, it's more the getting a compressor for it
Gotcha.
that's in a reasonable price range. I can get one for Harbor Freight for like $70. I went there the other day, and it's just going to add more noise, and it's not really necessary at this point.
Yeah, the silent ones are going to be in the 100, 120. The small. And what's crazy is you can use an aquarium pump. That is a possibility.
So the air assist just basically blows air across the top of it so that it's less likely to catch fire. Is that it?
It blows out whatever flame is there to keep it from charring.
Yeah.
Okay.
It also keeps, if you're doing wood surfaces, it also keeps the flame out, so that that burnt edge that you would get, it kind of keeps that a little bit under control.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think I sent you guys a picture of the first 3D print that I tried, and it was either black.
Just black charcoal.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, when it gets to that point, if it gets to the point where it turns black, it's not taking material away anymore. It's just catching it on fire.
Yeah, there's reburning ash at that point.
Yeah, so it's actually a lot higher up, and it rubs off on everything. So you want to avoid that, obviously.
So what are the next phases for the K40? Are you going to keep it the way it is, or?
Well, I've got it running to the point where I want it to. I think I'm going to take the case off, pick up some maker slides, and just stretch it way out. Give it more room and just allow me to put whatever I want into it. Because it's 12 by 8, you can fit a piece of paper in there, and there's a lot of things that I want to cut that are quite a bit larger than that.
Oh, it's the 3020 model. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's like so many variants of the K40s, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'd really like to get the power is by analog potentiometer right now. I'd really like to get something that's a little. I'm gonna put some new electronics in it.
Yeah, and then you were bringing up the red sail. That was actually the model I was looking at before I was thinking about doing a laser soar and then deciding to build one. That was perfect. It had the Z, it had everything, it had the pass-through. It was really nice.
I was bouncing back and forth between that and like an FS laser. It was like I can buy in the States and it's 4K, 5K, or I can buy China and I get a bigger machine, but it's coming from China and I hear shipping issues are bad. But this guy came from California. Apparently they're shipping like whole batches over and then shipping them out of California after they verified that they're still intact, which is nice. And if they would do that for the red sails, I might pick one up too.
That's almost the price of a Glowforge, though.
2K?
Yeah. Or no, isn't it more?
It's about $2,100 for the one that Apex got, the 60-watt red sail.
Oh, the 20 by 28, yeah.
The question for me is, can you have too many lasers? Personally, I only need one, but apparently Philip needs 3 at least.
Well, and you're also asking the guy that has 2 CNCs also, so I don't think we're the best demographic for that question.
Yeah, I actually have 2 lasers because I bought that diode engraver from, I forget his name off the forums, which I have not put together yet, but I should.
Well, when you do, you're going to be like, oh, it's so cute.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, I have a diode-based laser, and it gets the job done. It can't cut anything, but it engraves like a champ. I can do photos and all types of crazy stuff with it.
You can probably cut that thin craft film, right?
Multiple passes. I can't do a full power pass, or else basically the fire department will be here.
Oh, wow. How much power is that?
2.8 watts. But what happens is basically it starts to set the paper on fire, and then I guess the foam is a fuel.
Mm-hmm.
I have a picture. I will post that later. Basically, it started to do like I was trying to do these triangle pieces for a wedge for. Basically, I was making a prop balancer, and I was trying to prototype it out of foam core before cutting out the real deal. And all I needed was this triangle piece in the corner, poof. I mean, it literally burned. Like, obviously, the foam core, there's a permanent mark on the bed, there's, like, all types of ash marks all over it. Like, it was near the wall, which was a bad placement on my part. But, yeah, it was pretty bad. But this was in my, I guess, adolescent days of building that thing. So I didn't kind of know any better at the time. So, I don't know. But I like it. It gets the job done. But I'm super excited to get a Glowforge when it comes, if it comes soon.
Yeah. Also, we've seen some engraving, and hopefully, the bugs that they had with the, I guess, the motion planning or the rastering that they showed online. They had some shifting in the rastering, Dan said.
Yeah.
And we'll see if that's fixed.
Yeah. Well,
tomorrow.
Rebecca will be able to report firsthand.
Yes.
And you're using practically the same logo, so.
Yeah,
Oh,
that should be
the
interesting.
logo? Would you like to see the logo?
Yes, we have a logo. Well, it's
Here
a
it
symbol.
is. Here it is. This is what I'm bringing. I hope that we have an opportunity to print it. I don't know what, time there'll be to try to get something printed on the Glowforge, but this is.
Yeah. They'll push you up. They get you.
Hopefully.
Yeah, they'll get you up.
We have
online.
connections now. But, yeah, I mean, okay, so the little blip, or, I don't know, I mean, to me it kind of looks like wherever the start point and the stop point overlapped. I don't know. It's kind of worrisome. What was that?
You're talking about the Glowforge logo that they did on like a really high resolution. Is that correct?
Yes. It's where they show, I guess he's holding it in his hand, and then he has another shot of it. Not macro, but pretty tight. And
Isn't the thread called 1.3 something?
yeah, IPM. Or,
IPM? Thank you.
yeah, inches per minute.
Lines per inch.
Lines per inch.
LPI, 1.3K LPI.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think somebody else pointed out too that there's like a little imperfection or whatever, and we were all kind of CSI Miamiing that little area there to try to figure out, was that in the vector or what was that? And it turns out it's part of the rastering, which I want to say post-processor / motion planning, but the Glowforge is kind of unconventional in the sense it doesn't use G-code, so I don't know. Dan said rastering, so we'll just stick with that.
Right. Here's a shot of it.
Yeah.
Share my screen, so I guess you guys can see that. Wait, I think you showed up a little further. Yeah, there's where you were pointing out the little blips. And you can see on the other side, on the left side, there's blips that line up with it. Here.
Yeah. So
here.
to me, it looks like the offset, that's where it pierced, and then it went around, and it didn't go back exactly where the laser cut off. That's why it looks like. So it's funny, in the spindle world, if you don't set that correctly, for example, if you don't set the end mill the correct width, you'll get that type of imperfection, right? But this is absolutely completely different. So I don't know. As usual, with minimal information, we try to figure it out. Yeah, our private investigator is getting to the bottom of this. But I was kind of seriously would like to know, because Josh has posted other pictures with the same exact imperfection, if you will. And I was curious. I mean, that's kind of a big deal, because I want to be able to cut something out with the CNC and then cut a matching or a negative of that with the laser, and I want them to fit. So kind of a big deal. So as long as they know it's a big deal and they're going to fix it, I'm cool with it. But just want to make sure that, hey, what's that?
Right.
Well, I guess they're working on it.
Yeah, he said they're working on it.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yes. And in new news, we have a new person named Rita, who is the head of customer success. That's pretty cool. So we're seeing new faces in the forums.
Yeah.
Welcome, Rita.
Hello, Rita.
And it's nice to know that
welcome,
if I fail at anything, it's Rita's fault, not mine.
We'll see. Although, the one thing that we haven't really talked about is, what is the manual going to look like for the Glowforge? I mean, that'll be kind
I'm
of
expecting something minimal, like an Apple type device. And
Well,
that'll
I
point
mean,
you to a website of some
even
sort.
okay. So let's use Apple for example. So let's what is it called? The Mighty Mouse, right? So when you get the Mighty Mouse and you go to the Mouse tab, it actually shows you a video of how to use it, right? So I'm kind of curious to know, is there a manual that's going to be included, or are they going to be interactive videos, or?
I got to show you guys the manual with the Oculus.
Oh, the Oculus. You lucky man.
It's like an index card. Oh, holy crap!
It's tiny. It's thick,
It's in like 15 different
Oh,
languages.
but it's like 3-pixel font. And it starts with Japanese. Yeah, tiny manual.
Wow, I don't think I'd be able to read that with my trifocals.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I'm kind of curious to know what is the getting started guide going to look like. I'm sure there's going to be a hello world cut of some kind.
Yeah.
Like after you get it, and I'm sure it does that. But I'm kind of curious to know what the manual is going to look like.
Right. Well, after using the K40, one of my main concerns is definitely alignment, and I would love to have the ability to see what I'm. You can drag and drop things around on the virtual bed of the K40 through the plugin, but you can't see where it's going. You just kind of have to guess, and it'll move the head to the top corner. And if you hit preview, it'll kind of do an outline. It'll draw an outline around it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And that gives you some rudimentary alignment, but I'm really hoping that they nail this alignment. Because trying to get things exactly centered, I did a cut on top of a little metal lid covered with tape, and to make sure that that was centered was a little bit of an ordeal. And as long as they have that fine-tuned alignment with the Glowforge, I'll be pretty happy.
Yeah, and the nerd in me is very curious to know how are they. Obviously, they're going to pre-align it before they ship, but you know damn well when you first power it up, it's going to do a little jig, and I'm kind of curious to know what is it doing to verify. You know, okay, yes, this is working. Yes, I see a beam. Yes, good. You know, so I guess that's the secret sauce stuff that we will probably get talked about later, but nothing we'll know beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
But to reiterate on being able to see the bed, my big thing is the ability to use every piece of the material I have on the bed. So if I know I have a small little thing, I can actually drag it around with a live view of the waste material that I'm using to figure out where can I fit these things. That is my favorite part. That is such a pain to do on a CNC, even though, yeah, I have fixtures and, yeah, I have G54s and I know where everything is, but the machine really doesn't know where it is. You're just telling it, okay, it's somewhere in this region here, and just hope the best. But to actually visually see what it is, I plan that all the balsa, all the acrylic, every single nook and cranny around the rim and every space in between will probably get used. And that is awesome. Seriously, that's awesome.
And what would be even really cool is that they had the ability to overlay like a virtual ruler grid over the entire thing, and it'd be accurate down to the millimeter.
Yeah, that was asked. Like, if I need this to this, like if I have a square and the engraving takes up the entire square, because there's nothing that you can kind of, you know, there's no flat edge or nothing. You've seen the videos where they literally just toss something onto the wasteboard.
Mm-hmm.
How do I know that it's dead, like, perfectly perpendicular, right? Is it going to auto-correct, or we don't know? So, I mean, I know they say that you could stick phones on there and it detects. I mean, I wonder if they're doing something similar. Like, for example, the little 4x4s that they're doing, are they doing some sort of edge detection, or are they on the back end it's actually drawing a, you know, line that it knows where it is by 1 1/4 degree or less, you know?
It's got to, because it does when you flip things over, it's got to be able to cut in that same cut to cut all the way through. So I'm assuming these things are going to be incredibly accurate, way less than a millimeter.
To be determined, I guess. That's a feature we have not seen in action.
Yeah, I hope so. And the other major thing is the autofocus, because moving this thing up and down, trying to find shim to get everything at the right height for what I want to cut, is a pain. So I'd really love to have something with autofocus.
Yeah, and I think it does live autofocus, so as it's cutting, it's...
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That'll be huge.
What makes the Glowforge epic. Hopefully we'll see that in December. With a little asterisk.
Or maybe tomorrow. Rebecca.
Yeah, that's
Live
true.
chat
And
us.
actually, us in October, because we're going to be going to the New York Maker Faire. So that should be pretty good. I hope we get like an awesome turnout because I'm gonna try to figure out what bar we can shut down. I know that's off topic slightly, but that's kind of one of the things on the agenda. Literally, yeah, this entire back corner, we got this. That's my game plan.
I'm still on the edge as to whether or not I'm going, but if you're shutting down a bar for us, that's might tip me over.
We'll see how many people go. That's why I'm seeding it out there now, so I can kind of say, don't forget October 1st and 2nd. Should be fun. Rebecca, you're gonna have fun. You're gonna have fun.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have a great time. I really want to try the proof grade materials and see how that'll work because I'm somebody who will rely heavily on that in the beginning. So that'll be fun to try. I'm excited.
Yeah, see if you could take, I don't think they're going to throw a hissy fit if you take a picture or something because at this point, everything that's out there is out there. I mean, we've seen the Glowforge. We've seen a couple of proof grade things. Video of it working, whatever. I'm sure there's going to be tons of other people doing the same, but it'd be good to get a first-hand, somebody we know, report, if possible.
I will do my best.
So this is a little off topic, but have you decided if you're going to go see something else? Like, I'm just looking at the website right now, and you could go see the Strand of Beasts, and
oh, those are so cool.
Yeah, they are.
So there's a few things that look really neat.
Yeah, well, my first day on Friday, I'm primarily going to go to the Glowforge booth and check that out. But on Saturday, I'm going with a friend from high school and her daughter. And so whatever her daughter wants to see is basically what we're going to run around and do. So I'm sure there'll be lots of robots. I want to stop by the booth. Somebody mentioned, somebody on the forums is going to have a booth there too, and they're building birdhouses. So I'm going to stop by and see that. That ought to be pretty cool. And, of course, the Circuit booth that you were talking about, Yves.
Circuit Scribe, yeah.
Circuit Scribe, thank you.
So I'm looking at the schedule. I didn't realize Will Smith from Tested is going to be doing a thing there.
Well, I think Adam Savage is going to be doing something as well.
Yeah, he does something every year, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
So there he is, predicting the future.
Yeah, let's see. Obviously, Mr. Arduino will be there. He's there every year, and he will be there in New York also. Let's see. Makers at MIT, U.S. Department of Energy, Building Generation Explorer, The Hacker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's a couple interesting things, but I had no idea that Will Smith was going to be there. That's going to be kind of cool. But yeah, we'll have fun. I just hope the weather cooperates, because the one in New York is mostly outdoors.
Well, it's not
always
cold
nice and
yet
sunny
in
in LA.
October.
Oh, what was that?
Go ahead, Philip.
I was just saying it's not too cold in October yet, so
Yeah.
good time. Were you saying something about LA, Ben?
Isn't it always nice and sunny in LA?
So
they say. The water's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, the water's freezing. I almost never swim in the ocean because I'm a wuss. Yeah. It could be 55 degrees, 57 degrees. I don't want any part of that.
I guess I was pampered. I've been a Floridian a majority of my life.
Yeah.
Yes, East Coasters got it easy.
Okay, so let's see. Any closing thoughts? Wishes? Demands?
I wish we could live stream, or Rebecca could live stream from Maker Faire tomorrow. I should have sent you my GoPro.
Oh, wow. What could I do with my iPhone?
You could actually do the same thing. We could get in Google Chat. You can just, they're cutting my thing. Here we go.
Well, I don't want to
Assuming
put you
your
on the
Wi-Fi
spot like
works.
that because I actually want you to enjoy the time you're there. But my only request is pictures and video of your thing being cut.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that would love to see an end-to-end video, just them lining it up in the software, then cutting it on the Glowforge, pushing the button, watching it cut, pulling it out. That would, I think, make a lot of people feel better. Cause that's
I hope Dan comes through with that 20 minutes ordeal.
Mhm.
That would be That would be slick, because that's what we've been clamoring for. I want to see nothing on Illustrator or Inkscape, them create something, and then Glowforge. That would be awesome.
I think that'll go a long way to making a lot of people feel more comfortable about this, because I think that's one of the biggest questions that I've gotten from other people. Is there an end-to-end video?
Yeah,
So.
I agree. So hopefully, once again, Dan will make that happen. So any other closing thoughts?
No, I got to get myself on the road. I've still got another 3 hours before I get to my friend's house. So.
And you have plenty of daylight. I keep forgetting you're back in time.
Yeah, it's only 5:45 right now here.
It's almost 9 here.
Close to your bedtime. Okay.
No. It's just I was about to say you better hit the road because it's starting to get dark and it's like, no. It's not. But do drive safely. I mean,
yes.
Obviously, we want you to get there, but arrive alive. I'm sure you heard that whole ordeal there.
Fair enough.
Awesome. So, thanks for everybody that was watching, and have a good evening or good morning or whenever you're watching them. Adios.
See you
Bye-bye.
guys.
Bye, guys.